Cambridge City Council now be in session. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Conaway,
Still here.
Evancho,
Here.
Loftman, here. Leonard,
Here.
Marlin,
Here.
McMillan,
Here.
Wolverton.
Here.
Okay, we'll go to reading of the minutes. Mr. Marlin?
I make a motion we dispense with the reading of the minutes and place on file.
Mr. Wolverton?
I second that motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion is granted.
Up and running. It's good to see everybody. I don't have any real big motions in front of us tonight on paper, but I just have a few little tidbits, and I'll get out of everybody's way here tonight. But, you know, I've seen some maneuvers up there. Okay, I get it. As you see, the weather's trying to break a little bit around town, and activity starts up, and then we get into this cold snap again. Last week was brutal that way. The Taco Bell in East Wheeling is proceeding very aggressively. If you haven't been out that way of town, which I'm sure you have, that's kind of nice to see that monstrosity of hangover gas station is finally leave this position. So with that said, I guess it's good to get excited on that end. There's track hose moving there. Clark Street has been ongoing, just kind of chipping away. Well, they started on the sidewalks, to get that out of there so they can get into that line a little bit more. And of course, traffic is definitely a little bit tight. We kind of struggled a little bit today with our information flow. I'd like to have been a little bit more ahead of that, but we had some in-house challenges that required people to be in other places, school bus routing and different things, and we appreciate the schools being able to work with us on that and moving pretty quick. Keep that bottleneck from getting any worse than it had to be. So again, that'll be ongoing, shifting on down the road as we go, and so far it's been pretty smooth, and we appreciate Zimba being able to adjust to all that. Spring cleanup, if you haven't heard this already in the year-end reports, will be the 26th and 27th of April. As usual, every year for the last 12 years, we've aggressively done that. It will be at the street garage again, like it always has been. We're working with municipal court. We had a meeting with the judge this afternoon, and we'll be able to, they're going to assist us with some more court workers and things, which will help us with our workforce. That's a real good thing. Also, we talked on many other issues, but mainly how to help in the community and get more people where they need to be. I think a couple councilmen's names have been talking to us about possibly helping volunteering, and I appreciate that. And that was relayed today, and we'll keep you updated on that, how that goes. Off of that spin, and I kind of make light of this, but it's really not funny, but it does happen. We are starting to see people get into maybe a string cleaning mode, or they're moving out or whatever, and all of a sudden the mattresses move around. Again, Kim Conrad's number, 439-2822. If you see those out there, again, if we end up getting those, assign them to people, you will pay for those through the tax. Will go to the landlord or the owner. We're not just all of a sudden getting into the trash business. If you have a trash hauler, you need to call ahead, and they will haul that out for a nominal fee, $5-10. I don't know what it is. Don't quote me on that, but it's not free. When you put a bed mattress or a spring out, it does cost a little extra. Or you can haul it to the center out on 40, and they'll take it off of you, or I believe around $10, because I did that myself. Been a couple years back, but I know that's the way that's supposed to work. Not that you put it out on the porch, it blows down on one of these windstorms and it's blocking the road, which we've had a few events of that here in the last couple of weeks. Wind's been pretty stout out there. On the 26th, also, that's a busy Friday in April, Arbor Day planning is going to happen in the city park. I didn't talk much about that last year. We've tried to amp it up through the tree commission, and that's where memorial trees will be planted, and there'll be some names of people that family have given money to have trees planted in different places of the park. That's the main, sometimes cemetery. But I'm real proud to say that's a really neat little thing last year that kicked in to high gear. If you see the trees, a lot of them were planted around the back of Don Coss, outside the fence. And over time, those hardwoods are really going to be impressive. But again, it just looks nice to see some of that, and many more of those to come. But that's one of the things that's going to happen.
What time is that, Mayor?
I'll have to inform you the date or time. I don't have that locked in yet, but Sue Cowdens will be heading that up. That's a great question. I should have had more of that. But in the tree mode, they were hoping to do it in the next week out in the city forest, but it's going to be put to later this month because of the weather issue. The trees that are digging out to put in our forest could not be dug into the freezing weather we just came out of. And again, I read this to you guys before, and I'm going to hit it again because I think it's important. Bids, again, the bid has went out. Lori's Land Care out of New Philly is going to plant them. They're going to have 10 by 10 spacing out in the forest. There's going to be 13,600 trees. The species and the quantity of each species is red oak, 3,000, white oak, 3,000, black walnut, 2,000, sugar maple, 2,000, black cherry, 1,000, yellow poplar, 2,000, sycamore, 600. It's going to be overseen by an ODNR service forester, and I've got his name on file. I don't even know if he wants that out there quite yet, but again, that'll be going on late this month. If someone throws the question, why not pine trees again? Well, we learned from our past mistakes. They don't have a very long life cycle, and when they do get ugly, it gets bad, and it's a fire hazard, a lot of other problems, and we've already seen how that works. These are all be hardwood trees for many, many generations past us with some maybe someday selective cutting. Now, mind you, they're not going to be statched jumping right out in front of us for a couple of years, but there's a plan to the madness. And I'm just making sure people see the other parts of it, so many times they don't get to go there. Last, a company has filed for the permit on the gas station at Kmart to tear it down, so that is going to happen unless they decide. But we believe it's on. When they hit that far, it means it's coming down, which means that what said's going in is probably going, and that's the coffee shop for sure. Now, there's a couple other speculations out there, and there are some good discussions going on, but there's been some changes, so we'll just see how that plays out. Also been consulting with park officials and school officials and some other little meetings, and you might have heard me say in the last 3 or 4 years about whether Duck Pond needs dredged. And I went to look at you on the end, you slipped in another chair. If you notice, the park pool roof is looking pretty shaky. It needs to be worked on. We're working on a tennis court grant, and it's not looking real good, yet the tennis court needs a little love. So anyhow, there's plans and issues, and I like what I'm hearing on some things, and we're talking about lights that caught fire on Don Coss, and we had a pole fall, and the football field's got a couple issues. So anyhow, things. But just, I don't want you to be surprised if I walk in with some neat ideas, and all of a sudden you're like, well, you never said nothing about that. Well, I'm saying something about that. So anyhow, lots going on out there. And last but not least on my list, and you're welcome to ask me questions if you have any, you probably get this from time to time, the Gas and Oil magazine, but the latest version came out, and we're still holding at number 5 at 260 wells. And that doesn't mean in the city, but this is activity that draws people to our hotels and different things. At one time, Monroe was number 1, Carroll was number 1, and now Belmont at 616. These are all, we're well positioned with communications, and that's why hospitals and schools and all these things are pretty cool out there. But again, this is free out there for anybody who wants to grab one, but I think you councilmen kind of and women keep up with that. And that's pretty much all I got tonight, but we got a lot going on, and the weather, as it warms up, you'll see more banging and clanging.
Any questions of the mayor tonight? Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Marlin.
Mayor, how far out is that water line going on Clark?
I
How
believe
far
it's,
out is that going?
I believe it's going out to the 4-way at the old Bordenberger or whatever, the Health Link, or right there on the other side of that. Exactly where, I might need to ask that question myself.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's in the intersection, though.
Mr. Overton?
When is the dates to start for the Southgate Bridge.
First holiday, great question.
I was gonna
Thank
bring- I
you,
was gonna
thank
bring
you.
that up.
That's something we as a council group, we need to bring that up every meeting going forward to get the residents to know this. His first holiday weekend is going to get shut down right after that, so going
In May.
in May.
I spoke with the engineer's office this afternoon, Lou in the engineer's office, because I've been getting some questions about that as well. And Lou did tell me May through October.
Yes,
He did not have the exact dates, as Jeff was out of the office today, but I'm waiting on response back from Jeff, and I asked that if perhaps we could start publicizing it now.
well,
I know people are aware of it. They're obviously aware of it because I'm getting inquiries about it, especially from Southsiders. But as Lou pointed out, that's a state project.
yep.
When they're here, they're here.
Well, and, I think they're going to be here like they say they are because that's a huge project. And they're tearing the deck clear off. So, again, don't anyone think they're going over and shimmy down a sidewalk or something. There ain't coming back. You go over that. We get some crazies every once in a while. And everyone decides to get on an explorer mission. It's a long way down, 2 steps in. That's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but luckily the viaduct's done and Jefferson's in top shape. But it was busy last year. Now they're going to go the other direction. And Woodlawn, it ain't slowing down anytime soon. Now these railroad tracks aren't breaking any world records. We're still haggling with that. It's not going real well. But great question. Great question.
Any other questions for the mayor? Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Council President.
All right, we'll go to communications.
There's a request from the Park Board. Please approve the following rates of pay for seasonal employees at the Cambridge City Parks Department for the 2019 year. These rates should include all individuals employed as temporary groundskeepers at the Cambridge City Pool. Seasonal managers, $11.26. Seasonal assistant manager, $9.63. Seasonal concession manager, $9.15. Returning seasonal employee, $8.71, and new seasonal employee, $8.55.
I entertain a motion to send that to finance. Ms. McMillan?
Motion to refer to finance.
Mr. Conaway?
Second the motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and that motion's granted. That's it? Okay, we'll go to reports of committees.
Report of Finance Committee, March 4th, 2019. We recommend that council authorize the administration to enter into a pre-annexation agreement with PRIA Incorporated.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, March 4th, 2019. We recommend that council approve the following appropriations. $28,340 to police vehicles, $11,500 to continuous street services by contract.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Next, please. That's it? All right, we'll go to unfinished business. Anything? Audience portion? Yeah, Mayor, give the mayor a chance to speak again. New business? Okay, we'll go on to ordinances and resolutions.
An ordinance authorizing the administration to enter into a pre-annexation agreement with PRIA Incorporated.
Mr. Conaway.
Motion to suspend.
Mr. Leonard?
Second.
Roll call on the suspension?
Marlin,
Yes.
Conaway,
Yes.
Millen, Leonard,
Yes.
Evancho,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Loftman, yes.
Mr. Vancho?
Motion to pass.
Mr. Marlin?
Second to pass.
All in favor, any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify, roll call, please. My bad.
Conaway,
Yes.
Marlin,
Yes.
Wolverton,
Yes.
Loftman, yes. Leonard,
Yes.
McMillan,
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
And that ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
An ordinance of transfers and appropriations.
Mr. Wolverton?
Motion to suspend.
Mr. Leonard?
Second.
Roll call on the suspension, please.
Conaway,
Yes.
Marlin,
Yes.
Wolverton,
Yes.
Loftman, yes. Leonard,
Yes.
McMillan,
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Ms. McMillan?
Motion to pass.
Mr. Conaway?
Second to pass.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Evancho,
Yes.
McMillan,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Loftman, yes. Wolverton,
Yes.
Marlin,
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
And that ordinance is declared adopted, and I will not tell the clerk how long it took to do that.
She writes faster than I do.
Okay. We'll move on to miscellaneous. Mr. Evancho.
All right. Finance Committee will meet next Monday, March 18th at 4:30 PM.
Okay, I don't believe we have anything else. Mr. McMillan?
I do have a couple of things I'd like to bring up. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to what a great community we live in. Over this past weekend, there was a major fundraiser that took place for the salt factory. And so many people in the community contributed to that, and it was a great success. They brought in over $13,000 from the community. Everything donated, people attending the function. So, and there were a couple of giveaways for ladies that can't afford prom dresses. There's just so many things happening in our community that are such great things. And I just want to say, we're blessed to live in such a great community that there are such giving people here. My second thing is, I was contacted by Stephanie Lobby of the United Way, and I'm going to read this because she sent it to me. In May 31st, June 1st, and June 2nd, the American Triple T Triathlon event will be held at Salt Fork. We'll bring in approximately 500 plus participants. It's a 15-year-old event, and the owners have partnered with United Way to secure volunteers. They have a website that you can go to see the information about the event. And I'll tell you what, it looks pretty amazing. There's going to be a biking event, a swimming event, and of course a road running event through Salt Fork. So they've by partnering with the United Way, they will make a donation to the United Way from whatever they bring in from that event. So they are looking for volunteers. I think this is going to be a great impact on our community. These 500 plus participants come from all over the country. So the website is AmericanTripleT.com. And like I said, it looks pretty interesting. So I just want to give a shout out to the United Way and this American Triple T for partnering. If anybody's interested in volunteering, I'm working on getting some kids at the school to volunteer, but I'm sure the United Way will always welcome volunteers, and you could call Stephanie at the United Way, and her number's 439-2667. So that's coming up in May and June.
Okay. Mr. Leonard?
I got one too. Hey, downtown Main Street, right now they're looking for some donations for the hanging baskets that they put out every year. Last year they really missed their target on donations. I'd hate to see that program fall by the wayside. That's a beautiful contribution to our downtown. So if anybody's interested or know anybody that's interested, have them get a hold of Mary Beth Sales down at the downtown Main Street office, or you can go on their Facebook page, and they have an application on there that you can fill out and send in. And the baskets can also be in memory of a loved one or someone like that, if you'd like to have that put on there as well. So they could really use some help with that this year, if at all possible. So.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard.
Okay.
Anything else before? I've got one also. Cambridge Lions Club, their annual show is the 28th, 29th, and 30th. Tickets are on sale. You can go online and get your tickets through CambridgeLions.com, or you can go down to Country Bits, and they have a chart there that they can show you where the open seats are. The ticket sales are going probably the best they've gone in several years so far, and promises to be a good show. So, anything else under miscellaneous?
Because you're in it, is that why it's good?
I may not be before it's over with, so that may make it even better. Anything else under miscellaneous? If not, Mr. Marlin,
I make a motion, we adjourn.
we are adjourned.
Hey, Jim, how's the